Welcome to my first trimester update. Why am I wearing this? It's a little cold. I'm gonna take this off. Don't get too excited. Oh. This video is mostly for me, okay? This is mostly a video for me to remember the bliss. The bliss. Now I gotta find a place where I'm gonna focus again. Okay, the bliss that is the first trimester of your first pregnancy. At least my first trimester of my first pregnancy. Right now, I am currently 18 weeks. Today, I am 18 weeks pregnant. 18. That means in 2 weeks, I'm going to be halfway to the point of birthing a child. What? I can't believe it, you guys. Like, the fact that I am going to have a child? Like, what? That's crazy. First, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, which is me in a new room. Funny. But no, really, we moved. We packed up our house and moved into a cute, really nice apartment. I actually really like it. I do miss our house, but we're gonna get a new house eventually. And it's gonna be just as great. The reason why we moved is because I really wanted to be able to stay home with this new little bean. This little boy, now that we know, is like going to be the priority #1. And one thing that I wanted to do personally, I don't think this is the right thing for everybody, but personally, I don't want to work. I want to stay home with the baby. And you know, maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll want to work after, who knows. But I wanted to put myself in a position where I could stay home if it works for me. And so we sold the house, and I think it was the best decision ever. So anyways, that's the big news. I mean, besides the child in my belly. So like I said, right now, I'm 18 weeks pregnant. Definitely well, not well out of it, but out of the first trimester. And so I honestly just wanted to do this video to remember the first trimester of the first time I was pregnant. So, man, that first trimester kicks you where you don't even know you can be kicked, right? Like, I wrote a bunch of things down that I want to remember. The first trimester is no joke. It's no joke. Like, for me at least. A lot of the people I love and am friends with have had they've said they had really simple first trimesters, which good on ya, because jeez, mine was not. And so that has been kind of interesting, honestly, to be completely frank with you, to not really have a ton of people to completely relate to what I was going through, because my first trimester was not easy. Not easy. So, I wrote down some things on my trusty phone. Gosh, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm always uncomfortable. So I wrote down some first trimester recap items on my phone, things that I want to remember. We found out that I was pregnant on December 2nd of 2018. I found out before Riley. If you want to see the footage of us finding out and us telling our family, I made a video, and it's my favorite video of all time. I cry every single time I watch it. But it was literally the coolest day, because we had been trying, and just seeing that it happened, it blew my mind, because I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Isn't that glamorous? And so I was pretty convinced that I was gonna have a hard time having a baby, and I feel beyond blessed that I got pregnant when I did, because so many people, and people I know, are having a really hard time having a baby, and that's something they want more than anything. And I can't explain to you how blessed I feel that it happened to me. So finding out December 2nd, I was around 5 weeks at the time, 4 or 5 weeks. Definitely more than 4, because I had missed my period. So And that's why I took the test. I was like 3 days late. So I took the P test. And if you want to see all that experience, go see that other video. Right after I found out that I was pregnant, I went on the app search. I wanted to find the best apps that I could, because I knew there was apps out there that could kind of help track your pregnancy, like give you reminders and tell you how big the baby was and things like that. So I got really excited about that. The first app that I found is the Bump. It's like a little blue. The first app that I found is called the Bump. It's a little pink bee right here. And I love this one because it actually gives you like, it tells you, you know, compared to fruit or vegetable, what size your baby is. And it gives you a little 3D image of what your baby looks like at that time. And I thought that was really cool. It made me feel a lot more connected to my baby. I just loved it. So the Bump is a really good one. What to Expect pregnancy app is really good. They have little videos that you can watch every week as you progress. And then Ovia Pregnancy is another really good app that basically just combines those two things. One thing that's really cute about Ovia Pregnancy is they have a little hand of what your baby's hand is gonna look like when it's born and how big it is. And then like compared to how big your baby is right now, it has like a little hand in the middle, like here. It's hard for me to explain, but if you can see, there's a little baby hand. That's how big my baby's hand is right there. My little guy. So anyways, so those are the apps that I decided to go with. I really like them, and there's so many out there. You can find good ones. Okay, I'm gonna run through my first trimester recap super fast because there's a lot I want to say and not a lot that's really important. One thing that nobody really has talked about with me and I haven't really heard about is anxiety when you find out that you're pregnant. I honestly had such a hard time with it, thinking that something was wrong, worrying about the baby constantly, worrying if the baby was healthy, if the baby had a heartbeat even at first, and like, it's exhausting. The anxiety never goes away, it stays, and I had no idea how to cope with it because I hadn't talked to anybody about it. And one thing that there was two things that helped me through my anxiety when it came to things that could happen with the baby. One is that literally I cannot do anything like about it. If something bad were to happen, if something negative were to happen with my baby, I can't do anything about it. And that's so frustrating, but you cannot control what happens with your baby. If something bad's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You need to take it out of your hands. I believe in God. I believe that He's there, and I put it in His hands. And if you believe in a higher power, put that in His hands, because there's literally nothing you can do about it if something bad happens. So just know that it's not your fault if something bad does happen. Telling myself that every day and every time I would start to get anxiety about the baby helped a ton. So that, having a good support system with Riley, huge. He was very willing to listen to me talk about my anxiety and work through it with me. Just those little things that you tell yourself can help you. And then also, if it's to the point where it's like debilitating, go ask for help, like professional help. But it's something that's gonna hit you probably harder than you will think it will. At least it did for me. So anxiety, that's one thing. Next up, around week 7 was when I started to get really sick. I was tired before that. I was really tired and my boobs hurt super bad. That is a real thing. Your boobs like hurt like mad, crazy. But yeah, around week 7, I started to get super tired, overly tired. I threw up literally twice a day, at least. I was throwing up all the time, constantly. I would come downstairs and Riley would be making toast in the morning, especially in the mornings. I'd smell it or see it and I threw up. Like, food was disgusting to me for like four weeks. Seeing it, smelling it, thinking about it. Like, I literally couldn't even think about it. And every time I would come downstairs in the morning, I would go into the kitchen, open the pantry to get stuff for lunch for work that day, and I would just throw up. It was so bad. I couldn't brush my teeth without throwing up. I would throw up in the shower because it would get too hot. Like, I was a throw up mess, and it was the worst. I was nauseous all the time. Oh, another thing, I could not have anything touching my neck, like right here. And for me, I love hoodies. I love anything like big and puffy and like super comfy. But if it was touching my neck, even right now, I can't even talk about it. Like, if something is touching my neck, I like yank at it. I'm literally gonna throw up right now. Anyways, nothing can touch my neck because I throw up. Weirdest thing. That's never happened to me before. That wasn't a thing that was before. So that's definitely weird. Other than that, again, I was so tired. I was so sick, you guys. And I felt like it was never gonna get better. And I had to go to work every day. My work's not very flexible, and so I had to go to work, and I was just throwing up in garbage cans. I was running to the bathroom constantly, just miserable. I had no energy. I was tired all the time. It was rough. It was really rough, and I just felt like it was never gonna end. It did. Still, obviously, I get nauseous, but it's so much better. I have so much more energy now. My first ever appointment, so again, we found out we were pregnant on the 2nd. The next day, because the 2nd was a Sunday, the next day I went in to get a blood test, just a simple blood test at my family doctor to make sure that I was pregnant. I took like 5 pee tests, by the way, and they all said positive. But I mean, you know me. I just wanted to be sure. So we went and took the blood test, and I was pregnant. After that, we had to wait until I was like 10, I think it was 10 weeks at January 11th. That was my first appointment. So I found out I was pregnant on December 2nd. I had to wait until January 11th to go to the freaking appointment with my OBG, and it was the longest wait of my life because I hadn't heard my baby's heartbeat. I didn't know if everything was okay. Like, that's when the anxiety hits you hard, but it finally came. I did go to my first appointment, and literally it was the coolest experience. January 11th, 2019, one of the coolest days of my life because we were able to see our baby. We were able to see our freaking baby. I'm gonna cry about it right now. We got to hear his little heartbeat, see him wiggle. We have a video of it, and you can see him wiggling around. There is no other feeling like that. It was the most beautiful feeling in the world. First appointment was awesome. It was overwhelming too. They give you so much stuff, and they just kind of dump it on you. Things you can't eat, things you should eat, medicines you can take, medicines you can't take, things you can do, things you can't do. There's so much to think about when you're pregnant. And my one piece of advice is just take it one thing at a time. When you have questions, look it up, call your doctor. At that first appointment, we knew that we could, since I was 10 weeks, I knew that I could probably find out the gender. This was something that I didn't think I was gonna do because it costs extra money, and I didn't feel like I needed to, but when we sat there and they asked us if we wanted to do it, I was like, yeah, I do. So I think the genetic testing that they do tests for chromosome, how do you say that word? Chromosome abnormalities, to see if your baby has a risk of getting Down syndrome or any of those, like trisomy or something, 13, which is another chromosome issue. But so that it gives you like 99% accuracy on that, and then also it can tell you the gender. And so it wasn't just like finding out the gender, it was more that peace of mind knowing that everything's okay. It's the not knowing that was killing me. So when they asked me if I wanted it, I said yes. So they took my blood and sent it to California, and then a week and a half later is when we got the results. And in an email, I told my Aunt Griselle to open it so we didn't see it. She's the one who planned the gender reveal party that you've seen, and we found out it was a boy. Coolest thing ever. I wouldn't change the way I did it, but I understand if you want to do it differently. So around week like 12 or 13, my uterus was popping. Like, it hadn't like come up out of from where it usually is yet, but I could feel like it was pushed out, like I could feel it, it was hard. It's like the craziest thing to describe. But so around that week, I was like, I cannot wear the underwear that I'm wearing. It's like cutting into me, it was uncomfortable. So I went and got some new underwear, some bigger underwear that was going to be a little more comfortable. I got different bras because, oh my gosh, even right now, I'm wearing an underwire bra right now. And it just kind of, right now, I have a belly, but it just kind of sits like on your belly and it's so uncomfortable. It just digs in and it's just no bueno. So I went and got some new bras. And then we actually decided to go get some maternity clothes. I went to Target and I found awesome jeans, awesome t-shirts, which is probably all I'm gonna wear after I quit working, and just really comfy stuff. They have really cute leggings, which I'm wearing right now, maternity leggings. I would definitely go check them out. A lot of maternity clothes that I found online are really expensive. And so I was a little nervous about it because I'm like, I don't want to spend a ton of money on clothes that I'm going to be wearing for just a little bit. I mean, I'm going to have more kids, but still. So Target is a great option. That's where we got all of our stuff. Crazy. So that was kind of my first trimester. It was a whirlwind. I didn't really vlog at all because one, I wasn't showing, two, I was dying basically. I was so sick, didn't want to do anything. And I just wanted to wait until the end to kind of tell you how the first trimester was. Now I am 18 weeks pregnant today. I have a bump. I'm gonna stand up. I'm wearing black, so you can't really tell. But he's there. Do you see? So 18 weeks, I started popping around like 13, well, no, like 14, 15 weeks is when I probably felt like, okay, I'm actually kind of getting a belly now. And it's funny, like it gets bigger throughout the day, and then at night my belly feels huge, and then in the morning it shrinks. So it's definitely there. Like it's so fun. It's so fun that it's getting bigger and it makes it feel so much more real. But that's kind of when I started to pop. My energy levels shot up in the second trimester. It took me a while to get out of throwing up every day. I probably stopped throwing up every day probably around like week 14. And that's kind of when my energy was coming back. I love it. I love having more energy. One thing that is hard though right now, I don't sleep very well. I wake up and I can't fall back asleep. I don't know what it is, but it's rough when you have to go to work. The weekends are fine. And as you can tell, I'm out of breath. That's another thing. If I talk a lot, if I go up the stairs, if I stand in the shower for longer than 5 minutes, I get so winded, like so out of breath. It's insane. It's insane, I guess, so out of breath. Anyways, I totally forgot where I was going with that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I got my energy back around week 14, started to feel the bump kind of pop up. That's also when I started to feel round ligament pain, and it freaked me out. I remember the first time I started to feel it, it's super like tight cramps that like, it just hurts really bad, and you feel like something's wrong, and it's freaked me out so bad. And every time I would sneeze, it felt like someone was stabbing me in the side or something. When I would get up fast, it would do the same thing. And it just actually, for me, it was more constant too. Like I could always kind of feel this tightening, this pain. And so I talked to my doctor about it, but that's round ligament pain, and that's what happens when you're getting bigger, is it hurts. I now am just constantly feeling tight. I feel stretched. My belly's getting bigger. He's getting bigger. Right now he's the size of an artichoke, like 5.5 inches and 6 ounces, I think is what my app said today. But the probably coolest part about the past little while, in the second trimester is I think it was like a week ago. Yeah, week 17, on the day, like the Thursday, because I switch weeks on Thursdays. So last Thursday, I felt him. I felt him kick, and it, like, there's no other way to describe it. I've been telling people this, but I was sitting there, we were watching TV, and I started to feel, you know when you feel like those gas bubbles, you have like gas bubbles and they kind of pop in your tummy, and so it kind of feels like a little pop in your tummy. I thought that's what was happening, but it was really low, like it was like below my belly button, you know, in my pelvic region, and I was like, I don't feel like I'd be getting gas bubbles right there. And so I started to like sit there and pay attention to it, and it was totally him. And it's like you just feel this little poke inside, like it's inside coming out. It's the crazy, I can't even explain to you how it feels, but it is literally my favorite thing in the whole world. Like, I gotta tell you, it's uncomfortable sometimes because sometimes he'll be like really close to, like really far forward, and it feels like you're so front heavy, and so it's really uncomfortable. When he moves and when he kicks me, it is the most beautiful, magical, unforgettable thing. And he does, like, every day he's kicking me. Some days it's less than others, and that I miss him on those days. We went to a jazz game and he was kicking like crazy, and it's still small movements, like it's still not very, like, sometimes I probably don't even notice it still because he's so tiny still, but it's there, and it's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing. I love feeling him. It's my favorite part about this whole pregnancy has been just being able to feel him and know that he's in there. It's the craziest thing. It's so cool. It's so cool. Okay, before I end this video, I have to give, I'm gonna cry. Pregnancy hormones. I have to give a huge shout out to my beautiful, amazing husband. He has been beyond expectations amazing. Like, when I was sick, he never complained about it being gross, about me throwing up and having gas, and he has taken such good care of me. He's done more than he needs to. He does everything for me. Everything. He cooks, he cleans, he does the dishes, he wants me to sit down constantly. Like, I can't lift a finger. I can't do anything. Like, he does everything. And it's been so awesome to be able to rest and to have someone who loves me so much. He is literally my world. My husband is everything to me, and he has done everything for me, and he's going to be the best dad ever. And I'm so excited to see him with our little guy. I love you, Riley, and I want to thank you for being the best husband in the world and already the best dad to your little boy. You're the best. Okay. Anyways, that's all I can really think of right now. That's a lot of me talking. But I wanted to remember it. I wanted to sit down, tell you, my future kids, myself, what it's like to be pregnant for the first time. And with our first little babe. It's been a wild ride, and I know it's just gonna get crazier and crazier as I get bigger and bigger, and we'll check in and I'll tell you guys more about it. And once we finally figure out what we're gonna name this kid, we can't decide what we're gonna name this kid, so any suggestions would be awesome. Anyways, being pregnant has been the best thing in the whole world, and I love it, and I'm so excited to continue this journey. I can't wait to meet our little guy. And thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know. But here we go. Let's keep going. Let's go for the second half, round 2. Here we go. Yeah. Bye guys. Mwah.